Hi, my name is Dan Woods. I'm CTO and editor of Evolve Technologist, and today we're going to talk about Lost in Translation, my favorite of the 19 books my team and I have worked on in the past 5 years. The authors of Lost in Translation were Nigel Green and Carl Bate, two consultants that work in the UK for Capgemini who have long experience in constructing systems for the UK government and other large organizations. We wrote Lost in Translation because Nigel Green and Carl Bate have come up with an innovative new methodology to solve an enduring problem in information technology. What Nigel and Carl have done is discovered a way to allow the business side and the IT side to communicate more effectively. The problem is that frequently these conversations are out of balance. Now, the reason that this imbalance happens is that the business side doesn't exactly know how to express itself. What are the dimensions that it should express to the IT side so that the IT side knows what to do with the mechanisms? That's exactly what Lost in Translation is all about. It's about 5 dimensions that solve this problem. The dimensions are as follows: values, policies, events, content, and trust. Now, at the beginning of a project, here's what you do. You have the business side explain the values that are involved in the system. That is, what's important? Is it efficiency? Is it quality? Or are there other values at play? They have to explain the policies. What are the guardrails that this system must operate in? Are there rules that must be abided by? Are there certain policies in the corporation or in the governance or in regulatory compliance? Then, what are the events that trigger activity? Is it an invoice? Is it an order? Is it a customer request? Then, what are the content that describes those events? Is that content fully recorded? Are there holes in the content? And finally, the dimension of trust. Do everybody who are involved in this system trust each other? And if not, why not? What are the tensions that may be historically evident? Now, if you then have the business side record all of this information, the IT side now has a full description of what it needs to put those mechanisms to work properly. And that's what's exciting about VPEC-T. You can now have the business side provide a full explanation of its needs, and then the IT side can do its job much more effectively. One of the most important related concepts to VPEC-T comes from Eric von Hippel's theory of user-driven innovation. In his books, Eric von Hippel talks about the idea of sticky knowledge, how difficult it is for people who are expert in a business activity to explain the requirements for what they want to do. What VPEC-T does is it helps unlock that sticky knowledge. Lost in Translation is told in a series of 6 chapters. The first chapter discusses the big story, what VPEC-T is all about, and the context in which it's applied. The second chapter goes through the information systems theory background of VPEC-T. The third chapter discusses the dimensions in detail. The fourth chapter talks about how to use those dimensions. The fifth chapter talks about the way that you adopt VPEC-T in an organization. And the 6th chapter goes over case studies and has an interview with the authors about how they developed the methodology. To get more information about Lost in Translation, go to the lithandbook.com site. There you'll find blogs by the authors and other information that helps elucidate the concepts used and described in the book.